Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special Star Wars file. We'll be discussing Solo. I'm sure you're thinking we're going out of order for this, but we're saving up some big things for The Last Jedi, so we're talking about Solo the second in the, I guess you'd say, the interquel series of Star Wars.
A Star Wars story. Yeah.
Star Wars stories. And I'll be your host today. This is Patrick, and joining me today are my four intergalactic co-hosts.
Let's just say, hypothetically, just maybe, hypothetically, I'm Colt. And now just say it's a possibility that I'm me.
Fuck.
I am the little piece of the Millennium Falcon that falls into the mall.
Fuck.
The satellite dish.
Yeah, my name's Cody.
I'm Wookiee Wenzel.
That's exactly the noise Wookiees make, Wendell's. Brr.
Brr.
Oh, he's cold.
I mean, everybody, go down.
I'm John or Jan Solo.
Oh!
Depending on who you are.
Can we all do a Wookiee real quick?
Wait.
All right, we're Wookieed out.
Yeah.
We got our Wookiee noises out.
Yep.
All right. Well, since this is I feel like an underappreciated or like overlooked part of Star Wars. What were everyone's opinions going in, and did anything change upon this current rewatch?
I would say I loved it even more.
I would say I was like, this is a low tier Star Wars whenever I first watched Solo last year, and now I'm like, this is good. This is a good movie.
Yeah, I went in. I liked it the first time I watched it, and I went in and I liked it a little bit more this time around.
Could you say you loved it?
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, it's like third favorite Star Wars movie.
It has the best character in all of Star Wars in it. Monkey with 4 arms.
And a bunny alien.
Carrot nose.
Yes.
Give us a name for this four-year bunny alien Lucasfilm.
He's a Bugsbian.
What do you think,
Bugs
Jonathan?
Bunny.
What a shrug. To me, it's the most meh Star Wars movie.
It was so much fun though.
I mean, it was fun, but like, yeah, I don't know. Like,
You didn't like Leet?
Who?
Lead L337.
Oh.
Lead.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like it was fun. I mean, I don't know. Just don't really have a strong opinion one way or the other.
I will say I was pretty ambivalent when I saw it in theaters when it came out, but I found myself enjoying it more the second time around.
There was so much I forgot, except for like, some important scenes. But like watching it again, I love it even more. It's just it's a space western, and it captures that perfectly.
All right, that's it. That's the podcast.
Yeah, that's
it, everyone.
All right, goodbye.
No, I really enjoyed a lot of parts of this. There was a lot of things from the first time I watched it, I felt it was contrived. There's one major aspect of it that I still cannot stand, and everyone looks at me like I'm stupid when I say it. The dude does not look like Han.
But
he doesn't even have the personality of Han. It's all feels contrived.
Well, to me, like this time, he felt like I don't know. He felt more Han to me, like a younger, more naive. Like I could see this person growing into the Harrison Ford of Episode 4.
Yeah,
I can't because he doesn't have the je ne sais quoi.
Watch your mouth.
Je ne sais quoi. Doesn't that really mean? I don't know. Je ne sais quoi really does. I don't know what.
Yeah.
It literally translates to I don't know what. But he doesn't have like this aspect of him that kind of comes off as Han. Han is like very like, you got it, boy, like cowboy type.
but I mean, this is an origin of that.
But the thing is though, is he seems like he doesn't even it just does not compute to me, and so like it feels so separated and disjointed from the rest of the Star Wars universe in that aspect. Because if the link between the rest of the Star Wars universe and this movie is Han Solo, then Han Solo needs to be Han Solo, not some dude playing Han Solo that could be retconned as young and naive.
Yeah,
But I mean,
let's get Harrison Ford's old ass in this movie.
But I mean, isn't Harrison Ford playing Han Solo? Like, I mean, what like?
Harrison Ford plays Harrison Ford, and then they slap a name on it. But that's the
You're
problem.
not
though.
wrong.
But that's the problem, though, is that Harrison. I mean, that may be the flaw with Harrison Ford as the actor for Han Solo is the fact that he's so unique in his actions. It's difficult to find or even replicate that.
Yeah,
and that could be the very case. But to me, is the weakest part, is because this dude doesn't look like him to me. His actions are less Solo less Han than I would ever imagine. I don't know. I mean, I will say that Donald Glover as Lando was A1. That was
oh yeah, fit.
yeah. That really I think that was fantastic, and the fact that going into episode 9 with him coming back, that's got me excited to see how that goes, because you get to see that relationship between Lando and the ship and L3 and
Chewbacca, and like knowing that Han's gone. Like, I wonder if he'll call him Han or if he'll call him Han in this one. Probably still call
I
him
hope
Han.
they like desecrate his grave.
It's
in
in
space.
What grave?
The space debris. They're gonna go out in space and get a space spirit and piss on it.
I was about to say, what if he just
Shit on
pisses
it.
in space and he's like, Han will get this eventually.
Yeah, like fuck that guy.
It just lets it drift in space and just happens to fall to that one spot where the planet killer blew up, Star Killer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what's gonna happen. It's gonna
hit
literally
right in the face.
Yeah, literally. That's what's gonna happen. But yeah. And then something I forget about too, like speaking of other performances, Paul Bettany as like, even though he's very minor, he's still kind of like the antagonist. Him as Dryden Voss is very, very intimidating and scary. Like I knew what was gonna happen, but still watching him on screen, I was like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? Like, are they gonna kill to Beckett, or are they gonna kill Chewbacca? Like, even though Chewbacca survives and obviously Beckett doesn't. Spoilers. But yeah, Paul Bettany's performance as a villain is very good.
Yeah,
I really liked I liked the Dryden as a character, and I would love to see. There's a lot of this movie that we were looking up as we kind of went along, and they added in so many different aliens. I got something in my eye, so I'm like scratching it right now.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that happens in this movie that doesn't really show up in like Wikipedia or other areas, like the little alien that Colt loves that stood behind Han in the gambling scene between him and Lando, the first gambling scene whenever they try to get the ship, and that race doesn't have a name.
It's just called Bunny Alien.
It's just called Bunny Alien, and usually they would that feels like that should have some lore there. There's and also the fact of the what is the name of the what nest?
Infus Nest.
Yeah, Infus Nest. Why? Like, obviously they are one of the original seeds of the rebellion. And do we see anything else of them after? Like, are there comics? Are there stories? Or I don't know. It just feels like after this movie came out, they would just try to shut it down. Everything that happened. It's like it feels the least canon out of the canon of the new canon.
Well, that's a big thing for me. It's like people say that the movie failed and like it didn't meet certain expectations, but it still made a ton of money. They also kind of shot themselves in the foot because it came out with Disney had Avengers and Deadpool coming out in the same month, so they were kind of like, oh, we're sad we didn't get almost everybody's money because like they didn't promote it, and then they put it off in a very loaded cinematic month, so they kind of did it to themselves.
Well, yeah, and they also didn't. They didn't even start marketing the movie until it was like January of that year, and it came out in May.
Yeah,
yeah,
And it was only like a couple TV spots here and like one trailer, and it's like, how do you expect people to know what this is?
You mean that
except
Denny's commercial couldn't pull it the rest of the way?
I think and also when it came out, there was a huge controversy about the main character being Han Solo because he did not like Han Solo. And that was one of the major things that people were upset with was, this dude does not like Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford is an icon. It's difficult to replicate him, and it was a huge role to fill. It is not, but the thing is, though, is it feels like they took it lightly in a way. Like they didn't even, it just felt like they sort of hit the mark, tried to hit the mark, somewhat closely, and with Han Solo being such a major pillar character in the Star Wars franchise, you really need to try double hard to try and get someone who is him on the mark. Now, I could have done a trade-off. This guy's personality plus someone who looked closer to Han, sure. Or someone who looks a little bit less. If this guy had more of Han's personality, of the quick quip, and I don't know, there was some recklessness there.
I don't know if I would say like recklessness or half-assedness to it. I think they were trying to avoid like criticisms of trying to be exactly like Harrison.
Yeah,
because you can't replicate.
No, I mean,
I was about to say because like,
and I think at least it seems like their mindset going in would be, it's like, even if like we try to do this is just going to be done on arrival. You know, let's try to, it's going to be set far enough into the past to where, they can play around with it. And there was also rumors like it was going to be a trilogy, and in that trilogy you could, have, you could see him progress to that. But since this didn't do what, Disney or the fans or whoever thought it should have done, then, we're not getting any more. At least I don't think we are.
I was about to say, a lot of fandoms I've seen, like, will always, like, when it comes to casting choices, they always choose the person that looks so much like the character. And it's like that's fine and all. And, like, that's fine and dandy. But, like, if the actor doesn't embody that character, then I mean, what's the point if they look like them?
I just feel like this guy did neither.
But I mean, he did.
He
like,
did.
And even if he didn't, I mean, like Jonathan said, like, we're building up. Like, this is like his beginnings. Like all these little quips or whatever, his behavior and stuff, like, as like he's a human, he's a person, so like he gets his behavior from the people around him, and we can see this. Like, he got some stuff from Beckett, from Kira, from Chewbacca. I mean, Lando. Like, he just meeting these people, so he's learning this. So this behavior does not develop until later when we get to Episode 4, A New Hope. That's when he's built up all this behavior that he's learned from the people he's been around.
I mean, maybe, but I'm not necessarily talking about like his behavior as much as I am talking about like a quality to.
But I mean, that quality is part of his behavior.
Well, no. I'm talking about a quality of Harrison Ford, like almost like a charm that's not there.
But I mean, that's kind of like. That's just Harrison Ford, and I mean, you're never going to get that.
Well, I mean, then kind of have to question if the character is even worth doing.
And that's sort of my thing with the movie is, like, I don't think the movie shouldn't exist, but I just remember when this movie was announced, I was like, why?
Yeah.
Why do we need this?
No,
and probably my big, like, and a lot of my nitpicky gripes with the movie is just providing answers to things we don't necessarily need. Like, how did Han Solo get his name? How did he get his blaster? It's like,
I mean,
I don't.
This would have been better as like a book.
Yeah, it feels like
Yeah.
like a mid-tier expanded universe novel, and which is is fine, that can exist, but I don't know. It just felt too fanboy centric to be anything. I don't know. I don't want to say engaging, but it just.
I mean, that's fair.
I would love to see like a series of Western style novels dedicated to Han Solo and his escapades over the course of like 20 or 30 years.
Well, and I think something going to what you were talking about as far as Alden Ehrenreich not being like Harrison Ford is like what I was saying is I could see him move into this, like if this was set like 10 or 15 years before A New Hope, but I think like it's 5 years.
I don't think it's that early. I remember reading up that he's supposed to, and it probably looks sooner because Alden Ehrenreich is like late 20s, early 30s, but in the movie he's supposed to be anywhere between 18 and 24. So it's like it's at least 10 years before A New Hope.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say I saw somewhere that it's like 5, and I'm just thinking like.
And that's the other thing too.
I just like because one like Harrison Ford was like 40 when they filmed A New Hope, so like even just like age wise, it's like you must have done some hard living to.
I mean, if he's a smuggler and what happened in the course of a a day, 2 days.
True.
So he's just living like that every single day for 10 years.
There was, but there's also the question of like some of the stuff that again, I hate how Disney just sort of was like, I can't believe we released that. Ooh, mistake. Oops, don't see that. You know, sort of like they kind of had that kind of like
Sweep it under the rug.
like sweep it under the rug type mentality because there's so many good character loose ends that they could shoot off from.
Yeah.
I want to know more about Beckett. I want to know more about Dryden. I want to know more about the Crimson Dawn.
Crimson Dawn. I want to know like what happens to Kira and Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Like
I
cuz
want to see how that because they obviously were playing up the fact that she had a lot of physical like training and abilities, and then he was like, "You and I will be working much more closely together." Because I would love to see like that Obi-Wan vs.
like is this
Dude,
Darth
bro.
Maul like trying to start his own like rule of what 2 or rule of 1?
Yeah, and another thing too is like 5 years before A New Hope, that's around the time Rebels starts, and Darth Maul is, spoiler alert, is in Rebels.
Yeah.
So shit has to go down like pretty quick.
That was something I was concerned about. Like, it seems really cool that Darth Maul's in the movie, but also seems part like a big fanboy moment, but at the same time, it kind of muddies continuity a little bit because he has his story in Clone Wars, and it has its sort of beginning and end. And then he kind of shows up again in Rebels, and there's these weird gaps that kind of have to be filled up really quickly for these two moments to still make sense. And something that's a little worrying that I found out over the course of reading into Solo is that maybe the people who are looking over continuity aren't as on the ball as we think, because Sam Witwer, the guy who plays the voice of Darth Maul, had to correct the people who made the movie because they wanted Darth Maul to have his same lightsaber from the Phantom Menace, which got broken.
Yeah.
So he has his one from Rebels, or the one he would have in that. Which is luckily Sam Witwer's such a big Star Wars fan that he would pick up on that. But
Yeah.
makes me wonder, like,
Ugh.
I mean, we don't need like continuity police, but at the same time, I would want the people
Yeah.
who
Well,
are
and
knowing
yeah,
the
for
franchise
sure.
to be, on the same page with all.
If you're
the
gonna sit there
properties.
and eradicate a lot, like fucking 30 years of work, and to put in your own canon, and then start doing loosey goosey with whatever canon you want,
Yeah.
then that really is kind of like, okay, yeah, it might have broken, but he might have got a new one,
Oh man.
Well, and this even ties to the sequel trilogy as well. And while I enjoyed the sequel trilogy almost as much as the original trilogy, there are some things about how they're running it that do kind of irk me, because like there was an interview with Donald Gleason, the guy who plays General Hux,
Yeah.
and the interviewer was like asking him all these questions, and it's like, oh, your character is this, he comes from blah blah blah, and Donald Gleason was like, this is the first I've ever heard of this.
Oh. Ooh. Well, that's not good.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know if it's like the story group or whoever at the top is not. Sorry about that.
Like, you need you really do need a hardcore council of fans, fan workers, not just like.
Well, and that's what the story group does for the most part, but I just don't know how involved they are with like the movies and stuff.
Every one of the people on the story group has to have, like, they should, like, you would think, like, if I was Disney, I would definitely have the entire group. Every single one of them has to be incredibly in-depth knowledgeable about Star Wars universe down to very specific things.
Or at the very least, we have some checks and balances where the left hand knows what the right hand is doing, because even though of course the comics and the novels, they're not going to give the same level of attention as the movies will, but all those subsidiary things are still canon in the overall scheme of things. So like, you can't have something that completely disregards one of the other. Of course, movies will get more focused, but it also supposed to fit together cohesively when you put all the pieces together.
Yeah.
At your own leisure. You shouldn't have to read all the extra little stuff to get to the movies, but it feels like reading should be rewarded.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like that same interview I was talking about with Donald Gleason, like he didn't even know General Hux's first name. And I feel like that's things like that, yeah, it may seem like incidental, but like they at least should tell the actors to give them more insight to that character.
Yeah, because
and that's the other thing too. That's what's something that I got kind of freaked out with Ray a little bit
Daisy Ridley
was that she just has no fucking clue.
Which I was thinking about that. I was like,
well, honestly, I don't think they know.
I mean, they shouldn't be like super hardcore fans, but I mean, I feel like if you're gonna do this, you should definitely like be into it, like you said.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You don't have to be, because actors are workers.
Yeah,
they're not fans. They're not getting. Of course, you want them to be familiar with the subject, but the thing is, though, is that like part of that subject should be going back, looking at the past, and giving at least a vague trajectory of the future, and like give hint towards it. Hey, you really need to study Luke's mentality here, and I need you to work towards not to kind of following this line through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Like character studies within the world, and I don't know if they might do that, and depending on the person, but at the same time, like that should be a requirement of the job. And like Daisy Ridley in so many interviews was just like, I don't know, you don't know, sorry.
I don't know. Like definitely the people who write this story should definitely put that work into it, because
I mean, who honestly, who do we know? They could literally be doing all this stuff, and we're just
yeah.
We're just a bunch of nerds.
I'm just going back to your comment about like having
stuff that like slips through the cracks.
Yeah, no. I'm just going back to your comment before about having hardcore fans, because if you had hardcore fans, I think we'd definitely see a very different Star Wars, but I don't know if it'd be a very good one.
Yeah,
that is very true. Like, you need people who are competent, but they need to also know what they are.
They need to be able to let go.
They need to be able to let go and understand that, like, we're in a changing society and changing pop culture, and that and that Star Wars is part of that change.
You're right, Wenzel, and we do live in a society, so now we're going to switch over to the Joker.
All right.
So who would be the Joker of Star Wars?
I can't think of a single one.
Darth Vader, I guess.
No, Darth
Oh.
Darth Vader is like a dictator. Joker is a lunatic.
Well, there's really not like a chaotic type of villain.
There's no chaotic evil villain.
No.
At least not yet. Like, I mean,
I'm
sure like someone will pull something.
Which
from,
if there was a
97.
chaotic entity in Star Wars, that'd be fucking crazy.
I guess none of us are like super in depth with the expanded universe. So there will be some just like Sith.
We just barely got away from the lawful characters. Like, we're with Luke in episode 8. We're like, well, we'll get to that, I guess, next month. But like, we really just got away from the lawful characters, because most characters we come across are either lawful or neutral.
Yeah. And
Luke finally kind of went to like chaotic in a way, chaotic good. He's like, I'm doing my own thing, God damn it, So I don't know. I think that we need to. I don't know. They need to alignment. Star Wars has always been in that on the alignment chart in the top left corner. that's their space. They don't have any or the left corner and the left side in general with all characters. There's no like bottom right at all. No chaos, or they really don't go for the chaotic characters at all, which I guess helps to make better stories.
I guess, but then it's like, but I think that'd be interesting, because like then it's like you have these empires and these republics and stuff. They have structure, they have order. There's purpose. But it's like with a chaotic character, it's like they're just destroying to just destroy. Who fucking cares? And it's like, how do you stop that? Like, I don't know.
In my opinion, the most chaotic character in the entire Star Wars universe is the
Yoda.
Maelstrom.
Oh, I was gonna say Yoda.
Or Jar Jar Binks.
Oh my! He's
shit.
chaotic evil.
Oh my fucking god, he is chaotic.
He's the Joker. He's the Joker.
Never mind. We found him.
We found him.
Goodness.
Pat, draw Jar Jar Binks as the Joker for this episode. No connection.
With a lightsaber. With Jar Jar Binks.
With a
As a
lightsaber
Joker.
and cloud paint.
That might be one of the most cursed things I've ever drawn for the podcast.
Okay, we've already gotten kind of our gripes. Let's talk about some more good stuff about Solo.
This movie's so fucking sexy. Like,
I
damn,
live in a
girl.
society.
Well, like the production value to this movie is
It's
Yeah.
easily like
immaculate.
they put their money into it, and it shows. It's the most like densely like well produced, animated. Like it's almost to the point where there's too much happening. At certain points, because like you just want to stop and just look at every little corner. Because
Aliens, so many aliens.
So many.
I know.
And the droids, like, I mean, I told Colt this, like, there was just 2 random droids, and I was like, those guys look cool. You see them for a second, that's it.
Because my favorite alien in the movie is the frog that's in the vat of water that's
Yeah.
singing. That's my favorite.
I need Frank Sinatra frog.
I like the female singer, her little, like
Little buzzy thing.
yeah, like
I'm interested to see if that's like jewelry or if that's a part of.
I feel like because you don't actually see her mouth. That's actually part of her mouth.
It could be an enhancement.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's like she's like an enhanced cybernetic human.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Also, finally in this, when the Millennium Falcon doesn't like a dingy, dirty public restroom on the inside,
Well,
really, really good.
It made me
Until
wanna-
the escape pod on it.
until the end.
it was really funny because whenever they went into the bedroom portion where the Han was going there and he saw Amelia Bedelia. What is that lady?
Amelia Clark.
Amelia Clark.
Amelia Bedelia?
I don't know her name.
A throwback to children's literature in the 90s. Fuck.
Over in the corner, there's the bed, and I was like, I really want to take a nap in that. Right?
That bed looks
It's
so
comfy.
comfortable. Yeah.
Like, could you imagine being on a spaceship sleeping in that bed?
No, it's something I've been thinking about every time I'm going to bed. I always think of like a comfortable bed, and one of the things I think about is a bed, literally a bed like in that style, just like in a little cubby corner, so soft. Oh my god!
Is that bed in Lando's closet in the Millennium Falcon at Galaxy's Edge?
Pat, what the fuck are you talking
What
about?
did you just say?
He's talking about the Disney
He was
ride.
talking about the Disney park.
Like the
Is it
Star,
there?
the Star Wars theme park, Galaxy's Edge. There's a life-size Millennium Falcon you can walk around, and there's a ride in it.
Ooh, you know what? Let's go there and take a nap. We each get a
No, that
we-
bed's exclusive for fucking.
Which they almost did.
So
in that-
many dick tracks.
Yeah,
man.
It's so nasty. It's slimy.
Ooh,
You want to sleep there in that slime?
no, I guess not. You just have to ruin everything for me.
No. You just got to think about it like Lando. He's a player. You got some robot oil on that bed.
Oh yeah, all right.
I think Lando and L3 were a thing.
Yeah.
I kind of hope so.
I mean, that's not subtext. That's text.
I really hope so because I honestly love them. I ship them.
She what? I don't know. I don't know if L3 is a female droid, but they thick.
Somebody has the nerve to say it.
I mean, did you not see how her gait?
Those
horny robots. Horny robots.
horny robots.
Thick thighs save lives.
Although one of my favorites, I think L3 is probably my favorite droid of the Star Wars universe.
She's one of my favorite characters
Yeah.
in the movie for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
The whole like you're free. The whole rebellion, the droid rebellion. I would love to see the remnants and the aspects of that. I would love to see like her legacy somehow come into future media.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be. That the reason why the rebellion's droids aren't just their droids. They are the droid rebellion that started on
Kessel.
Kessel. Yeah. So like something like that would be amazing, and I would love to see the formation of the rebellion, the actual formation of it, of like maybe separate like rebellious groups coming together. And
Well, there's an entire show about that.
oh, is there really?
Star Wars
Rebels.
I'm stupid.
Well, something I was wondering about, just like what we're seeing with all these little bits in the integral movies and in the sequel trilogy, because like the recurring motif of like Han's dice, that wasn't in the original trilogies, in my knowledge, and that shows up here and in the Last Jedi. So it makes me wonder, with the big culmination arriving with Rise of Skywalker, who will we see from the sequel trilogy, from these interquels, come back in the Last Jedi, or even the cartoons like Rebels or Clone Wars? Because like we see like this big montage of like all these people for the final battle in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Like, I mean, we still don't know what happened to Kira. What if she just comes back and she's like, Han?
It's like, oops.
Or Rey is actually a clone of Kira, or some sort of like not a clone, but like some sort of like spawn of Kira.
Well, I was gonna say, what if Han had an affair with Kira and?
I mean, had an affair.
They were together before they met Leia.
No. I mean, like, because he gets with Leia, and then he meets Kira in that time and has an affair with Kira while he's with Leia.
She gives birth, and that baby is
Rey. Yeah, make you fuckers think.
Yeah, I gotta say,
They wouldn't do that. Disney
this
hates this
theory
movie, so
is bad.
I know.
Disney fucking
This
hates this
theory's
movie.
bad. Fuck your theory.
Because it's so complicated. Disney only goes easy routes.
What do you mean complicated?
Okay.
There had to be
You're
at some point that he did that with Kira that we haven't seen yet. Because let me tell you, there's still a ton of fucking gaps in
I
Star
don't
Wars.
want to see Harrison Ford's balls again.
We'd never see them ever.
It is interesting how those dice,
Yeah, his balls.
those dice are with him at all times.
Yeah,
And then they kind of show up in episode. I don't know. Those dice are weird.
they are.
Yeah, because I think they were like in the background in the original.
Yeah, they were
trilogy.
hanging. They were his fuzzy dice in his in his rearview mirror.
Yeah, but like it wasn't until like episode 8 where they actually put emphasis on
Yeah, well, I don't know.
emphasis on the syllable.
Something's going on
Yeah,
outside.
I don't know if you guys can hear that over the mics.
There's a lot of sirens.
Someone's
Yeah.
breaking the law.
In the law.
Costume design, great. Because
Fuck yeah.
Emphas Ness easily. Fuck me. What's
I'm gonna
happening?
go shut the window.
What the fuck is happening outside? There's horns honking. There's sirens blaring. Okay. Anyway,
Probably right.
yeah.
I don't know.
Fuck. Okay. Emphas Ness looks awesome, and especially that train battle where she comes down and like fights Beckett, and like you see like her bring out those fans that like block the blaster bolt. Fuck.
Fucking hell! Why would you do that?
Cody just threw a ball. It could have just broke all of our podcast
It's
stuff.
the world. He threw the world at us. Yeah, Cody just watched JoJo Part 3. But anyway, yeah, no, Infant Nest's design looks awesome. All of her little group looks great. There's even a character who... Does this take place before or after Rogue One? Does anybody know?
Well, Rogue One takes...
Place right before. Yeah, this takes before.
Okay, so yeah, we see a character in there who was in Rogue One who is most likely... or who dies on
Warwick Davis.
Jeddah.
That's his character's name.
Star Warwick Davis.
Star Warwick Davis. Okay.
My favorite scene has to be, it's back to that one scene on the trains. That train section, I fucking love that shit. From the troopers that have those magnetic boots.
The range
walking.
troopers, yeah.
Woo, that was so
That
hot.
was really sick. Like this movie really embodies that whole sci-fi aspect and that space western, especially with that literally with that scene. It's like a
train heist.
train heist. It's literally that, but like with a rotating track and magnetic boots and spaceships. Fuck.
Yeah, and then the final scene for that is dropping that huge bomb. Over
When the coaxium
Yeah.
drops and it detonates.
And then
Sexy.
and then it comes back. Oh, that looked
It
really
exploded and it imploded.
good. Yeah, looked super sick. Now, say what you want, but like this movie, just like any Star Wars, like the cinematography is fantastic, and the costume design, they really show a lot of love with that.
The creativity's always been the strongest part of Star Wars, and this they put both feet into this because it's just you can literally point to any moment in the movie and it's just rife with details and like attention and like love for the product, and that's what shines through every Star Wars movie, regardless of what the general consensus of the quality is. Like there's always more love put into these movies than like maybe any other film franchise I can think of.
Yeah, for sure. And like another, I mean, I know everybody's talked about like their aliens and stuff, but like one of my favorite aliens, actually, well, he's not really an alien, he's near human, but Dryden Voss. I don't know why, but like just his character I just love, because he's just so like the way like when he gets angry his eyes get red and his facial scars just open up. Like I just love that. I just think that's so intimidating and so awesome, and especially his usage of those little like knuckle blades,
The brass knuckle like quasi lightsaber blade.
yeah, like that was just so cool.
I love the Art Deco Hollywood style of
Yeah,
Crimson Dawn.
like
that
yeah.
made me. I want to see that world. I love the gold, the jewels, the shiny clear things.
The elegance of it, and especially and another character design I loved were just the women who like part of their heads were gone. Like that was
I think they're called decraniated, and they were rejected concepts from Rogue One they put in Solo.
Oh wow, well that's really cool, but also terrifying because part of their head's gone.
Were they droids or they actually like?
I think they were
Organics.
people who who ran afoul of the wrong people.
Oh, and they were made into essentially slaves.
Yeah.
Kind of
Well,
like
their brains are gone, so.
kind of
It
like
sucks.
the those one dudes on Cloud City that had like the section that looked like big earmuffs. Lobot, yeah.
Lando's best friend.
Yeah, who also happens to have that device.
Where was Lobot in this movie?
I don't know. We need Lobot.
Where's my porgs at? Like, where the fuck are they at, dude?
They're off on that one planet.
Well, speaking of aliens, we have one of the best alien names in the entire franchise in this movie. One of the Sabacc players, kind of look like a lobster. His name is Therm Scissor Punch.
Fuck yeah.
That's why you got excited during that scene, wasn't it?
Oh, fuck me. It was literally that lobster-looking dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he looked cool.
And just attention to detail, like I said earlier, like the one alien that was playing Sabacc in the first part with the helmet and the big arms.
Yeah.
I saw it for a second when he was. There's a moment where he's looking and he's breathing and his dome fogs up.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
That's just like just attention to detail.
Yeah.
Like that. It's crazy.
I will say, too, that one alien that's on Kessel, the one that they knock out, who's, like, essentially running the plant there.
Yeah.
Who, like, has that vape, essentially. He looked really cool. And also his, like, his guards or soldiers, like, those, like, yellow and white suits. I really love those designs. Like,
The dude with the vape, he looked like a Power Rangers villain.
he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That.
I mean, that's a good thing. I like Power
That,
Rangers
yeah,
villains,
for
but
sure.
Power Rangers villains have some of the best designs.
What about the little baby droid that was like stomping on the console?
Yes. That was great.
Fun fact: that droid only task is to stomp.
Yeah. Oh no, CBT droid. Cock and ball torture.
How would you even bring that up?
We got to get there. We got to get that on the podcast sometime. And
Yeah,
I'm
this
glad.
is why Tanner needs to be here there for every episode.
I'm glad we got it on this one.
Fuck.
But yeah.
I thought it said CBD. I was like, yeah, droids love fucking CBD. He helps for their anxiety, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But yeah, man, this movie, like, overall looks is just very glamorous, very good looking. But yeah, and just there was another alien too. I forgot. I cannot remember. I'm sorry. I think it had something to do with the Sabacc
You
game.
lead me on here, Winslow.
I'm sorry. I had it, but then you brought up the fucking fog alien. I was like, oh, it's gone now.
What about the alien that bit its fingernails? Went.
What was that one?
They was at their gambling.
Oh,
and he lost.
I know what you're talking about. I don't
Yeah.
remember it.
I really enjoyed that.
It looked like a fucking sawfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was eating the cards.
Oh, I thought he was eating his fingernails, but still, it's very fun.
It was very fun. Yes.
Speaking of fingernails, what about Drayden Voss's like coat nail on his thumb?
Yeah, that it wasn't even a nail. It was like his thumb.
That's his dookie nail, like
Yeah.
you said.
No, yeah, we talked about it. He uses these thumbs to scrape out the shit out of his ass.
No, I actually read up on that a little bit. It was very interesting. The writers actually said that his race's blood is really delicious to space ticks, and that thumb is for picking those space ticks off their body.
Are you fucking serious?
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say no.
Fuck you.
But I thought that should be said.
That sounds pretty Star Wars.
But imagine how pleasant it would be to just kind of dig in and get that shit.
How pleasant would it be to take that little thing and stick it right in your pee hole?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck you, Cody. Thanks for leading me on like that. But anybody have any more final thoughts?
Like I said, this movie, like I come to appreciate it more. It still has some chunky parts for me. Like I still felt like Val and Rio, they kind of get shortchanged at the beginning, and plus like I still enjoy it, but like it feels like the movie kind of climaxes and then it goes on for another 45 minutes.
Yeah. Yes. It feels so fucking long.
It does, but I think that next portion, though, I don't know. I enjoy it.
It's still good, but it feels like maybe it just still kind of feels like a weird plot because we got through the hardest part and now like it has to go back up again.
Yeah, because like you get another hard part, which is tricking Dryden and like setting that up, and it's like that whole section of the castle run. Like I will say, like that was definitely a fanboy moment, and was like, did we really need it?
I liked watching the big alien get sucked into the black hole and how his turns into bones before he gets sucked in.
Yeah.
Like his skin gets ripped off his skeleton.
Which was cool, but it's like, you know, like we could have saved. I don't know. They could have saved that easily for later, like because, like you said, it's like there's that climax, and then it's like, ugh, like we have to go back up again. I don't know, but something else I was gonna say too. A moment that like I still feel like they don't explore enough is the war section of Star Wars, and like we see that in Rogue One, but like with that battle, literally that mud planet. What I don't remember what it is, but it's literally when Han is a mud trooper.
And he meets Chewie.
He meets Chewie, he meets Becca, he meets the whole gang.
Like, how does Chewie go from being like a general in Attack of the Clones to being in a mud pit? Like, where's that story? Where's the Chewie?
Yeah,
pinnacle?
but like also just that section is like, you know, it's very, I don't know, like horrific because, you know, you have a guy screaming and like they're in this like deep like entrenched area fighting, and it's like, I don't know, I thought it was pretty crazy. I enjoyed that very much.
It actually puts the war in Star Wars.
Yeah, it puts it yeah.
Very Saving Private Ryan like.
Yeah, definitely. Final thoughts. That's what this is about. That's what we've been doing.
Okay, like I said, I really enjoyed it a good bit. It felt a lot better the second time around. I felt like I had enough time to process it and look at it a little bit more. I was looking at different spots and whatnot for the details.
Yeah.
I think if third time around, for detail wise, I might enjoy it a little bit more.
I believe that is really good, and that you don't have to have a Jedi to be a true Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Besides, what the fuck do Jedis do in the movies anyways? They have one little fight and then they just like, ooh, get you next time, and that's all the movies with Jedis are. Oh, Jedis are so underutilized in the fucking movie. They're space wizards. Let's see some space wizardry.
Sure, for sure.
We need more lightning.
And that's why you get to play Jedi Fallen Order.
They're like, here's a little bit of like, come on, like Jedi, they're so underutilized in the movies.
For sure.
They're OP.
I mean, they are.
I want to see Jedis go fucking. I want a whole movie of just Jedis doing fucking Jedi shit.
Definitely.
We need the original Clone Wars cartoon level Mace Windu for shenanigans.
Oh my god, that was so badass.
Yeah, that'd be super sick.
That's my view on this movie.
Okay.
It's a movie. It's definitely like, I don't know. I don't feel like I would revisit this one anytime soon.
Okay.
But I mean, like, I don't hate it. I'm just kind of,
Yeah. Okay.
Still better than the prequels.
Yeah, it's still better than the prequels.
By a lot.
But it doesn't have like the batshit insanity of the prequels to be
For sure.
to make what makes those entertaining.
Yeah.
There wasn't a single mention of death sticks.
And no killing kids.
Yeah. Okay.
There was too much world building in these prequels. But anyways,
Anywho,
It's time to take the ship onto space, and thank you all for listening today. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at AYC's Podcast. You can follow us on SoundCloud at AllYouCanHear, and you can follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv at AllYouCanHear, and all of our streams, they'll be living forever on our YouTube. You can watch those at any time. Follow us on Apple, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Spotify. If there's a place online you can listen to the podcast, more than likely we'll be there. And you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at John Lost His Name. You follow my art on Facebook at John Lost His Name Art.
My name Colt. Follow me on Twitter at ColtD00. May the 4th be with you. Am I right?
Well, he said it.
Whoa.
hi, follow me. My name's Cody on CODDOC11 on Instagram. That's it.
Okay. Thank you for listening. You can follow me on Twitter at Windsor Bookie, and follow my art on Instagram. Oh, fuck.
Facebook.
I know. I wanted to say for some reason what Pat says.
Oh.
Follow my art on Instagram at World of Winsy. Thank you.
my name is Jonathan. You can follow me on Twitter at JohnOdinson12.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
See you next time.